Good evening, one and all. It's Saturday night. Hello, and welcome. Colin, thank you so much for saying whilst waiting, I'll hit the like button. Thank you so much. So for those of you watching on replay or live, do please give this a thumbs up. That would be fabulous. It's Saturday night. I should say Happy New Year because this is my first video, is it, of the year? And it seems like only yesterday. Time is flying by. So a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I'm so grateful that you're able to join me here live. Those of you who are online live right now. Yes, Colin. I won't mention the result with Brighton, but anyway, glad that you're enjoying your running as well up in Yorkshire. I don't know whether the snow's cleared or whether the snow's still there, but here I've got so many updates. I'll go through what I'm going to be going through. Shall I go through what I'm going through? Have you all got your cups of teas or beer or whatever you have on a Saturday night? Hey, chin chin, I know, rock and roll. Lockdown 3.0. That's one of the topics I'll be talking about. So in no particular order, I've got about 6 things that I'll be going through. So I'm going to talk about my training, what I'm aiming for, training that's happening going forward. How to stay motivated with lockdown. I'm going to talk about my What the Fartlek poem. Hey, Chris, welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining. There are comments. Is it on that side or that side? I can't remember, guys. So this is my left. That's my right. Do the comments appear on your right or your left of the screen? Anyway, I'm pointing that way. Hopefully it's the right way. Leave some comments. Get some. Hey, Running Geek Girl, so good to see you. How you feeling? So those are some of the points. That was number 1. Number 2, I'm going to talk about. There was a BBC documentary, The Truth of Indoor Fitness. I'll be talking a bit about that. Also, One Man and His Shoes. Yes, shoes. I'm also going to talk about a very bizarre statistic regarding change and so on. Hey, Dave. Oh, it's hi, Kiwi man as well. Oh, we are truly international. My Kiwi friend, you've joined. You make me feel so good. And you guys, Dave, Colin. So yeah, and Running Geek Girl. So far we have people from New Zealand to the US and UK. So welcome all on the globe. So yeah, a random statistic. Also a bit of email stuff I'm going to be talking about, mentoring and so on. Talks that I've got coming up. Also, podcast I recorded only yesterday that I'll be publishing on Tuesday. Fantastic chat I had with the professional coach who helped me with my 10K. You may recall I completed a 10K early December, my first ever sub 38. So that is who the interview's with. And yeah, so those are the few things, quite a lot to get through. But I'll talk about my training because today, I don't know if Paul is online or not. I know he's quite busy with family, but today I went on a training run. What did I do? I did a fair bit today. It was over 23 kilometers, which may not sound much to a lot of you guys watching. And Keith is there as well. He's watching also. Welcome, Keith. I did see on Facebook, you did leave a comment. I thought I'd branch out into different channels, social channels. It's fantastic to see you all. And as I was saying, that we're now up to double figures of views. So I'm so grateful that you guys are watching here. If you are watching live and you want to message your other friends and buddies on the socials, because we're going to be on for about an hour, get your teas and coffees ready and beer. And we'll be going through lots of things, and the debate is open. Q&As, you can throw in Q&As, but I'm so grateful. We've got the twin power on. We've got Kiwi friend Dave Cowdery, Chris, that running guy, Running Geek Girl. It's fantastic, and I'm glad to be back live as well, Dave. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. So the training today, 23K, doesn't sound a lot for me or whatever, but basically, with no events and stuff, and I'll talk about how staying motivated. We're now in lockdown 3.0 in the UK, and I know it's a challenge for a lot of people, and myself included, you know, with things that are going on. But I try and keep this upbeat and keep it real and how we can frame it. But the 23K, whilst it was with Paul, you're allowed with one other person now, and that's one of the changes that's come in. And we weren't carrying Starbucks and going for a picnic. Sorry, that's a bit of an in-joke. We didn't drive 5 miles. So that's a bit of an in-joke here in the UK of 2 ladies who were arrested and fined $200 for going for a walk. But anyway, that's another story. No, so the training, 23K. But I said with Paul. Paul said, "What do you fancy doing?" I says, "Oh, I fancy doing a bit of speed work." So I've not done any speed work since November. So we threw in 5 sets. Yeah, 5 sets of 1 mile intervals, going pretty quick clip. Now, I was spun a bit of a yarn from Paul where he said, "Do you fancy 7-minute miles?" And I said, yeah, 7 minutes sounds easy for me. But stress, guys, you don't have to go and do this. And he cheekily was running 6:30s. It came up to 6:20 on one of the miles, and I felt pretty fresh and good. Legs are feeling great now. Tomorrow I'm going to go on a long, easy run. But what am I training for? I've got a series of books. I didn't mention I'm going to mention books. Yeah, books. These are my books. I've read them all, but I'm going to be going through them again and rereading. And part of my training, the big event I'm aiming for, and as I say, one of the things to remain motivated is having events to book for. Now, I'm a bit reluctant. I didn't want to go for a marathon in the first 6 months. So for those who've watched previous videos, if you haven't, I'll give you a quick summary. I've split this year into 2 6-month chunks. Yeah, do you like the science there? 2 6 months makes 1 year. Amazing, isn't it? So the first 6 months, I'm targeting a half Ironman, which is a bit disappointing because I'm due to start my training for the half Ironman. I think it's 16 weeks, and that will start on Monday. And swimming, yeah, there's no swimming, so I won't be doing that, but I'll be getting on the indoor turbo trainer, cycling and running, where I'll be using a plan from here, which is the 80-20 triathlon training. And I do talk about like 80-20 training in running and so on and so forth. So keeping the runs easy and 20 minutes of 20% of effort. So it's 80%, 20%. And they've got loads of lovely plans from beginners to experts and all that type of stuff. So I'm starting that training. So for me, it's just getting some level of fitness up, ready to start that training. And you may understand that certainly when you're starting to train for a marathon, you need to have a certain level of fitness to get into the start of it. So yeah. So those of you on, thumbs up, everyone. Yes. So triathlon is certainly something I'm learning as well, my running geek girl. So you know, I'll take it on, and a half Ironman. It's following on what I'd done last year. So that's the training. But what I've been doing with my running is that was my running book of the year. And by the way, all these books that I'm talking about, there's links in the descriptions. You can click on those, and there's a little affiliate link with Amazon. That'd be great if you want to use that link to purchase your books. But this book was Shane Benzie, and I'm in touch with Shane quite regular on various things, and I'm been adapting and changing. I'm a terrible swimmer as well, Dave. Did you not see my triathlon? I think I was one of the last guys out of the water. So all the bikes had gone, and I thought they've stolen my bike again, but no, my bike was still there. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. But in the running, whew, I went past a lot of people. But anyway, that's another story. But with the lost art of running, go back on this. There's practical stuff in here where it talks about how to get into essentially the lost art of running. A lot of us will feel, and myself included, we sort of forget the art of running. And I really do believe that when you do enjoy, and Colin, you did pick me up on my comments on the Instagram. Ben, good evening. Welcome, Ben. Hello, Ben. Say hello to everybody. So Colin, you did pick me up on that comment on Instagram where I said it was an effortless, I can't remember what distance it was, but it did feel effortless. Why did it feel effortless? Basically, since whilst I was training for the 10K, I was implementing some changes, and I used it during the 10K race, but I was very much beginning and getting into that. So it talks about technique in there, and there's chapters where it talks about the breathing, and that's something that Paul commented with me today. Paul is a 2:40 marathon runner, and he said, Donato, your breathing is incredible. And so I'm not a heavy panter or anything. It's sort of controlled. The book talks about the breathing. You may recall that it'd been nearly 2 years ago, or was it a year ago? A year ago, December, I interviewed Rebecca Coles, who's an ex-world champion deep diver, and her profession is about helping people to breathe. So I use a lot on the breathing in there. Foot strike, how the foot strikes, but not only whether it's heel strike, midfoot, or forefoot, but it's how the foot, he talks about the tripod that we land on. So yes, Gandalf. No, I'm the Hobbit, Ben. Come on now. Here in Middle Earth. By the way, folks, if you are new here, I am broadcasting from Middle Earth here in the UK, the Lickey Hills. Yes, yes, indeedy. Thumbs up. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you tuning in. So in that book, talks about tripod, also talks about how you hold your head. For a lot of you guys, and certainly, you know, a lot of the expert runners will notice it's almost like common sense. I think the chat's going a bit hot wire there, so feel free to join in the live chat. But for me, implementing all those, and it was tough to start with. Back in November, I found it quite difficult because one of the things I'm finding difficult to implement is the height that we need to get when striding out. So to get the springiness in there, and basically what Shane talks about is an elastic body. So I'm trying to get my body to be elastic and use the natural energy. So leaning forward from the ankle, not from the waist, which a lot of us do, which I used to do, is leaning forward from the ankle. And it's those little things using gravity. At the end of the day, we all have a certain energy and effort. And isn't it good to use the natural energies, the natural effort, and so on and so forth? And that's what I've been implementing and doing that. And in a way, because I've got that to focus on, that's what's helping me. Duncan, good evening. It's so good to see you, mate. I'm glad you're here. You can play on rewind and catch up the previous sort of 5-10 minutes. I was a little late on because I was getting me cup of tea. Yes. But for me, having that to focus on and running for my best life. Oh, fantastic, man. Love you. I'll talk a bit about Maffetone method. So for those of you who don't know, running for my best life, the chap who's just commented, apologies, I don't know you. I can't remember your first name, but he's talking about Maffetone method. I'll talk a little bit about that. So you might like, I was talking about that earlier, my good friend. So 80-20. So we're getting a truly international audience here. I did mention we've got from New Zealand, the US and UK. So yeah, well, Anthony, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. That's my middle name. Well, Antonio, but hey, Italian, Anthony. Yes, so you must be part of the mafia as well then. And yes, Dave, I will talk math because I know you're keen on the math method as well. I'll talk a little bit about that. But for me, a number of things that helped me with the lockdowns, and it's different in different parts of the world. I was speaking with some Aussie friends, and it's very different over there. I was also speaking with some of my friends. I used to work... don't talk math. That's what sorry, Dave. I was winding you up there. Sorry. Sorry. A little bit of internal banter here, but yeah, don't forget the thumbs up, guys. What was I going to say? I'm losing track. There's a number of key things that I've used, which I've started. Gary, good evening to you as well. Welcome, Gary Fides. Which I implemented on the first lockdown, and again, I produced a video on that called Qigong. I've also started the Be Still, which is the hashtag BE5TIL, 5 minutes meditation, mindfulness. When I go running, and I was discussing this with Carl Wellborn last night. Marvin, good evening, mate. Welcome. So good to see you. And when I'm out running like today, whilst I'm with Paul, I am in the moment, in now. And it's been proven with mental health awareness and all that type of stuff, being in the moment right now. Like you guys are watching me, I'm watching the comments here. I am right here, right now. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, the training. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking about anything in the past. And I know it sounds simple, but it can be quite difficult to implement. But feel free to join in. There is a fantastic app. It's a repeat. show Dave, the comment that you left, it's been held for review, would you believe? So shall I show it to everybody what you said about math? Yeah, shall I right, let's show everyone. Here we go. Yes, I don't know why YouTube, can anyone explain to me? Anyone understand YouTube? I mean, it's owned by Google, and that sort of says a lot anyway. But why would Dave Cowdery's comment where math is a yawn fest, why did that get held back? Is there some kind? Is that like a swear word in some country? Math, is it, or yawn fest? I don't know. Anyway, no, I'll talk about an app on here because we've got to use our technology as best we can. Like you guys are here live, and I do appreciate you being here live with me. But there's an app that I downloaded, and it's exactly the same as an app that I saw about 5 years ago. But that's beside the point. It's called Portal, Portal. And it's fantastic. It's free. Let me type it in. So it's called Portal. You can download it now. Go on, I'm not getting any commission. I don't know the owners. And I know it's on iOS, so I know it's on Apple. So I don't know if it's on Android. If you've got an Android, have a look on your Android store. But with Portal, and this is where you can combine it with the Be Still and the Qigong, is it has fantastic music. Shall I play you some? Let's open it up. And because I regard myself as a bit of an organic, being here in Middle Earth, I guess I'm a bit of an organic runner. So whilst I've got headphones on, that's more to communicate with you guys. So hopefully you can all hear me fine. But with Portal, there you go. That's how it looks. There you go, Portal. So it's got focus, sleep, escape. So as I don't want you all to go to sleep, I won't, although just me talking to you is enough to send people to sleep anyway. But anyway, besides the point, focus and escape. Shall we press the escape? Yeah, because we like to escape a bit. So I'll click on the escape. Let's see what comes up. Can you hear that? So that says Amadablam in Nepal. Can you hear that? Amazon thunderstorm. So basically, you plug your headphones in and put this on, and it all becomes very immersive. And exactly, Anthony, it's relaxing. Do this each day, just for 5 minutes. Believe me, it has an amazing impact on your health and well-being. I wish I had all the links to hand. And so Amadablam, can you hear that? Now, that says it's a log fire in Switzerland. I don't know, is that the only country that has log fires? And then there's the one here. Can you hear that? That is Redwood National Park in California. Yay! It's amazing. I mean, this is free. Now, for those of you who are following me in London should recognize this noise. Yes, because that's the Spring Dawn Chorus in London, UK. Can you see that? It says London, UK. Love it. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, damn. How do I stop this? There you go. Nice and quiet now. So those sounds are natural sounds, and depending on where you live, because for me, I'm in suburbia, but within a few minutes, I'm out on the hills in Middle Earth. Oh, sorry, Cole, your comment has been held back as well. How? Yeah, maybe they feel that as an insult. Exactly. No, there's no copyright strikes, Ben. I checked beforehand. Yes, apparently it's copyright free. Woohoo! So no, I did check beforehand. So in fact, speaking of copyright strikes, you've goaded me now, Ben. So let's find some music, because I wanted some music. But before I do that, I'll close that point in terms of helping us stay motivated, lockdown, stress. The Qigong is fantastic. You can play that kind of stuff from Portal, have it playing wherever you are. I know a lot of people live in inner cities and so on and can't get away to nature, but attach you with nature, being grounded. I often talk about over the past, it's nearly 5 years now here on YouTube, 5 years, being rounded and grounded, doing all that is fantastic. And what I'm looking to do is to reach out to you guys, and I'd love you all to email me. I have a new email, poetwithpace, all one word, @gmail.com. So get your pen and paper out. Yeah, get your pen and paper out, write this down, poetwithpace@gmail.com, and you can email me and I'll do some random emails. Don't worry, I'm not going to be spamming you every weekday or whatever. So it's just random emails. I'm going to be reaching out where basically an open out to just talk with you. Yeah, one-to-ones, either on mentoring, consultancy, or just a chat over a cup of tea or a coffee, which helps as well. Hey, Sean, the whole family's there. Oh, the kids are on. Oh, I've got to be on my best behavior now. Welcome, the Cash App family. Yes, who knew you get whole families watching this channel? So there's 5 of you, isn't there, Sean? So that's quite a bundle there. So welcome, welcome. Thumbs up, email me. Listen to that app. In fact, I feel like having that music playing all the way through. What do you reckon? No, we'll keep the silence for the minute. But so that sort of sums up my training. I'm getting into that. How is your training going? What are you guys doing? Leave some comments here and everybody can have a read. What do you do to help yourself in terms of being grounded, mental well-being, physical well-being? whether you're in lockdown, not lockdown. For here in the UK, in terms of, I'm sometimes confused of what we can and can't do, because I detach myself from media type stuff, news, because it's just quite, for me, it's quite depressing, really. And I thought having this live thing to keep things a bit upbeat. And I mentioned about those two ladies who got fined. Yes, Jamie, you got cut off. That's because you're in New Zealand, mate. You know, that's you got to get your Wi-Fi working, my Kiwi friend. So what? Another thing that I've found really useful is anyone on from the What the Fart podcast? Because there's a great little running on Instagram. There's a podcast, What the Fart Leg podcast. You can find this on your YouTube, not YouTube. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, and all that type of stuff. And I'll dig out the link. But I wrote a poem because there's a challenge going on at the moment. Make Matt run. And I wrote a little poem, which I'm going to read to you because I thought it was funny. But anyway, that's just me. And I'll come back, Ben, by the way, on the copyright strike, because I've got some music here. I was just wondering, would I get a copyright strike on that? So here's a little poem I wrote. So obviously poet with pace. And I did literally knock this up in about, I don't know, it's about 30 seconds, a minute, a couple of minutes. So in my head, and then just wrote it down. And just picture yourself that I'm a rapper, yeah? So I'm a rapper. Rappers have hats on back to front, don't they? Yeah. So yeah, imagine that I'm a rapper and there's a bit of hop, pop, 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 pop. Yeah. So sing that to yourselves. We've got a bit of a beat going. You didn't expect to see this live on a Saturday night, but hey, I'm here to entertain. So here we go. What the fartlek? We are Team Rob, having so much fun without a big gob. Laughing and smiling, lying in our beds, but we don't care because we are proud to re-rob heads. There you go. Do you like that? Leave a comment over there. Hey. I know it shows, doesn't it? But anyway, enough of that rapping. Yes, and speaking of mindful, and sometimes I find, as you can see from that, I don't take myself too seriously. So I had this from London. Did you like that poem, Ben? Yes, Donny G on the decks. Is it on the decks? This book, I talk about mindfulness, yoga, Sean. Yes, yoga, and I do recall one of your lovely children when I was there. I was doing some of the yoga stuff, and the children were joining in. So I think, and I've seen a lot of this now here in the UK, there's a lot of homeschooling going on, and I do see parents at the beginning, whilst there's that fitness guy who does all these fitness stuff, there are a lot of parents and the children doing yoga, like at 8:30 in the morning, just 5-10 minutes of it, from Yoga with Adrienne, I think, is one of the #1 ones that I use. She's fantastic. Just Google Adrienne, Adrenne, Yoga with Adrienne. Fantastic lady. But I don't take myself too serious. I try and keep things lighthearted. But when I had this book, Mindfulness, it's a bit of a pee take about mindfulness. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it just for the comedy. And by the way, this isn't, I've not got this recommended, but mindfulness, sometimes humor helps, doesn't it? So hopefully, if you think this is good, I'll do it every Saturday night. You know, I just basically, I could see the comments and I thought I need to come on live and spread a bit of cheer. And so I don't take myself too seriously. Anthony, yeah, that's fine. You carry on. Husband duties, that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much for being on air with us at this time. So you can dip in and out as you feel free. You can watch it on replay. So I'm not precious about whether you're here for the whole hour or not. But the thing with mindfulness, this one is a comedy type book. And yeah, so you got pictures, windmill. I'll read this text here. Mindfulness is the skill of thinking you were doing something when you were doing nothing. One of the good things about mindfulness is that you get to do a lot of sitting down. Sitting down is good for your mind because so much positive energy is stored in your lap. Which then leads on to the next page, yeah, with a guy sitting there on his lap. People who practice mindfulness first find somewhere quiet to sit down. Alan is sitting down in the Falkland Islands. what can I say? I mean, I could read that forever, but it's so funny. It's brilliant. But on to my next topic. I mentioned that I've got a live. I've done I say live. Sorry, it was recorded live, and I'll be posting on my YouTube's. I think Tuesday. See you, Ben. Great to have seen you, mate. Thumbs up. Tuesday, I'll be publishing an interview I had with the professional coach, and he's a top marathon runner, having ran 2:23 marathon. Carl Wellborn, fantastic guy. Team Marathon Road. You can find both Carl and Team Marathon Road on the social medias, on Instagram and so on, and follow those guys. But Carl's been absolutely brilliant. He put together my 4-week plan. So the Lockdown 2.0 10K, he put that together. And the interview is talking through how he put that plan together, how he puts plans together for people, and what each individual training set, in terms of the easy run, how easy an easy run is, and the fartleks. See the connection with the What the Fartlek podcast, yeah? Continuity. No flies on me, guys. And then there was the so there's fartlek sessions, there was the tempo sessions, and then the all-out guns blasting sprints. And it clearly worked, because at the end of that 4 weeks, despite just the 4 weeks, and he does talk about the reason why he was able to put that plan together is I'd come off the back of a marathon, so I'd done the marathon training, so my aerobic fitness was already high. And all I needed to do was fine-tune, fast-tune my muscles and get me ready for the 10K. Because I've never trained for a 10K, and that's the first time. So 4 weeks of training for a 10K. I'd love to know what I could do if I could do a bit longer 10K. And that's why for the first 6 months, I'm just focusing on half marathon distance. So whilst I have the triathlon coming up in June, I do have a half marathon booked. But hopefully it will go ahead. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But the interview with Carl is fantastic, fascinating, and he talks a lot about the science and the detail of how that works. And maybe you guys watching it get some pointers and tips of how you can adapt and change your training plans to suit and fit in terms of what you're doing. So very much look forward to sharing that with you guys. So keep an eye out for it on sometime Tuesday. I'll probably post it UK time early Tuesday morning. And you can catch up whatever time you are, wherever you are in the world. So that's on that one. I also mentioned, by the way, in terms of thumbs up and so on, and I do appreciate you guys tuning in live, that the email, if you want to email me at poetwithpace@gmail.com, and I'll have some random emails going out, but to reach out and connect with you guys where we can do some chatting over a coffee, whether it be one-to-one or small groups. We've got Zoom, Skype, and all that type of stuff. And also looking forward in terms of where I can help some guys in form of mentoring and working with you and help people to focus and see, because sometimes just being held accountable and having someone to bounce ideas off and work with can help. And I've got, obviously you all know I'm coming up to 60, so I've got like nearly on 30 odd years experience where I've been mentoring professionally with all types of people in professions. And so I thought I'd transpose that with what I've learned with the running as well, and to help us keep us in a bit more rounded and grounded. In fact, you can almost say the way I work, you don't need this type of stuff, but people can work at, take 5 years, 10 years to get to something and battle through and learn through your own mistakes, or you can learn through other people's mistakes and get there a lot quicker and easier. And I think it makes sense that people might want to do that. So I'm just offering that out, and that would be fantastic if you want to join in. If not, don't worry about it. So yeah, you're going to love it, Cole. You're going to love that. But a couple of documentaries that I saw, and so I did a One Man and His Shoes. I don't know, has anybody seen that? For those in the UK, on the BBC iPlayer, the story of Michael Jordan and his Air Jordan Nike shoes story. Did anyone see that? Yeah, I found it fascinating how, and in a way, I guess that's why a lot of the YouTube channels that do running shoe reviews are so popular, is that the way Nike marketed that particular shoe and how it launched it and how it went from a sort of nothing brand to the #1 brand just with Michael Jordan was a fantastic watch. I found it fascinating. And hey, Dan, better late than never, mate. We're only half an hour in, still I reckon half an hour to go. So welcome, Dan, and hopefully you're feeling good and everybody feeling good with the New Year vibes. But the One man and his shoes. Looking through the whole story, it was so clever how Nike basically targeted the youth in terms of, at the time, Michael Jordan was, I think, one of the third draft going into Chicago Bulls. And having been to Chicago, because Chicago's my kind of town, and ran the marathon there, I do love Chicago, is that Michael Jordan, when he went from college to go in the, I nearly said NFL, it's the NBA, isn't it? Get my acronyms right. When he joined the NBA, Chicago Bulls was his first team. And he was just a young lad, a novice, beginner, whatever they call him. I think he was third draft. And at the time, Chicago Bulls were, I think they phrased it in the review, it wasn't a very good team, shall we say, or they were goddamn awful. But Michael Jordan transformed that team, and obviously it went on to win championships. But Nike had already sort of bagged him as a sponsor, and then done some new things which hadn't been done before. Their shoe immediately got banned. And as you know, if anything's banned and it's contraband, the youth want to buy it, and then it just became a phenomenon. And every Air Jordan they've been releasing, even though it's at ridiculous prices, people just buy them by the truckload and queuing, a bit like when people used to queue for iPhones and all that type of stuff. They're queuing for their Air Jordans and then fighting. There's footage in there, people punching and fighting to get to the front and buy their pairs of Air Jordan. But I guess that's the hype and marketing that goes on there. So I don't know if anybody watched that. What's your views on companies, how they market and promote themselves? But that's another thing. But the topic I'd like to talk about right now, because I don't know if you saw that interview I had with Christy Ashwandan. Good to Go. This book, for those of you who are new here, and there's lots of you watching right now, and for those who are watching on replay, this book was put together by a doctor, research, but she was also an elite athlete in the US. And from her experience, she's basically done a research on recovery type things. So as it says here, good to go, how to eat, sleep, and rest like a champion. Yeah. Now, the clue is in the words eat, sleep, and rest. Yeah. So it's all about recovery. But what she talks in here, and she talks about Michael Jordan in here as well. So the link's in the description, by the way, if you want to get this off Amazon. And what Christy talked about when I interviewed her as well is she's traveled far and wide in terms of looking at recovery, because there was a great I don't think it was a documentary. It was more of a magazine type program, and it was on the BBC again. It was about the truth of indoor fitness, so it's very topical. Here we are in Britain in lockdown, and they'd done a program about people who are doing indoor fitness. There was a section about running and other type things, running outdoors, and I found it fascinating. Again, if anybody saw that, you can watch it on iPlayer. Leave some comments here. But the reason why I talk about that program and recovery is it mentioned, and I presume, hey, Rito, saying hello. Yeah, get on your Saturday long run, US East Coast. We've had all sorts of US people. So, and I'll get onto the shoes, Dave and Gary, that I've mentioned. So if you've got particular shoes, leave it in the comments there. Brooks is quite popular. Have I got my shoes to hand here? No, I haven't got them here. They're all muddy and dirty downstairs. But hey, the program, the reason why I mention it and the recovery is they mentioned one statistic, and if it's on the BBC, it must be true. But each year, around 50%, get this, 50% of runners are injured in a 12-month period, which I found shockingly high. I don't know whether you found that, experienced that, but when I look back, when I saw that, and I'm thinking, okay, I had a few niggles last year, but last year was the first year that I had a full year of, touch wood, I don't want to tempt fate or whatever, of no serious injuries. And so it happens to a lot of us, and I'm sure it's probably happened to some of you guys. And they started interviewing various doctors, professors, and as always, being a program, they brought in these recovery products. And I know everybody has views and stuff. And again, Christy in a book talks about it and how these things are unheard of, and don't really work. No, the science has been proven that it doesn't do anything to the body. So, but the recovery stuff they were shown in there, and I'll talk about what the doctors concluded and what maybe you guys can glean from, and it helps you as well, because obviously I'm here to share what I've learned and share with you guys and help you guys, because you guys help me. Does that make sense? So it's a constant flow, ebb and flow of energy, helping, supporting each other. By the way, thanks for the thumbs up. I love those. Loads of thumbs up before I even started. But recovery. Oh, Carl, you've been blanked again. What did you say this time? Yes, it depends. An injury, a slight niggle, an injury. No, a slight niggle, I wouldn't say is a injury. It's where basically if you end up having to stop running, I think is classifies as an injury. But I'll go on to the shoes that we've got on there and recovery. So recovery. They were looking at compression type products, and again, they mentioned that a lot of compression products don't do anything at all. I think they said that you have to check the factor of compression, so how much compression it gives to have some benefits. But there are papers that have been produced, research papers, to prove that if it's too tight, then that has detrimental effects. So for me, as I mentioned, I'm an organic runner. As a beginner, I did end up getting some calf sleeves, but since New York Marathon, which was 2017, since the training for that, so that would have been we're going back nearly 4 years now. So I've had 4 years of no calf sleeves. So I did wear calf sleeves on my first marathon because something came up and I read it, and as a beginner I thought, well, that makes sense, it works, it's going to help me, and they felt good. But I decided after my second marathon I would not wear calf sleeves anymore. And as I say, there are papers now, so I run perfectly fine. I still run my marathons without any socks or calf sleeves. I do know it works for people, but the conclusive thing that Christy mentions in her book, and it said in the program as well, the doctor did say that, and I think the presenter reaffirmed it as well, is if you feel good after eating it, drinking it, whatever it is, whatever potions and things and whatever, or additives and vitamins, if you feel good, makes you feel good, or jumping in an ice bath 10 minutes before the start or something, or doing some kind of ritual, if you think it helps you feel good, then that's good, because your brain produces the right chemicals, you feel good, and that's all part of the recovery, because we want to feel good. But the science has shown that it doesn't do anything scientifically, in terms of recovery. So what 3 things did they say that we need to do that is organic? And it depends what we want to do. As you say, Dave, the placebo effect is that the placebo effect can work to a certain point, but if you believe it, and we were talking a lot with Carl during the interview about belief, and if you believe it, if you believe you're training, if you believe you've got the best shoes on, if you believe you've got a comfortable shorts, top, if you believe that, and you believe by wearing a certain headband, whatever, sunglasses, whatever, and we talked about placebos. I think the soccer player I mentioned, football player, was Paul Ince, where when he used to come out of the field, he had to be the last player on, and he'd be shirtless, and he wouldn't put his shirt on till he stepped onto the playing field. Then he put the shirt on, and that was his sort of lucky charm and put him in the right frame of mind. But if you feel good, then great. And yes, Dan, arm sleeves in the winter with a t-shirt, calf sleeves, always found them beneficial, likely placebo, but as such, I'll keep them on. And that's quite right, Dan. If you feel good with them, great. Colin, do you have lucky underpants? And as Dave's carried reaffirmed what I've just said, so yes, Dave, as saying, Dan, if it works for you, great, stick with it, great. And I find sometimes, like today on my training run, I had tracksuit bottoms or whatever to keep me warm, because I don't want my legs getting cold. But after about 3 or 4 miles, I found it was too hot. I didn't realize that the temperature had gone up. But yeah, just wear what you feel comfortable with, because there's nothing worse sometimes when you're out in the cold, and sometimes our calves can get a bit cold or whatever, is having some socks on or sleeves can help keep them warm, which comes back to you feeling good whilst you're running. Yeah, makes sense. But there's 3 things the doctor said. For most of us mere mortals, you know, we're not elite athletes, and we don't need to recover super fast, ready for the next training session. So you do a hard session in the morning and you need to recover super fast for another hard session in the afternoon, or an easy session. None of that. And then double runs every day, whatever. I don't do that. Do you guys do that? You know, 7 days a week, double runs? I'd love to hear from you if you do, but I don't do that. So I like to recover organically, and this doctor on the TV did mention it. 3 things. You know what the 3 things are? I don't know who this is, but did you see that last comment? Yo-yo. Yes, yo-yo. If tomatoes are a fruit, why isn't ketchup a jam? Yes. Yes. Where is everyone from, Gary Fidders? I did ask that at the beginning, but there's been so much chatter. Leave some comments on where in the world are you right now. So town and country, or county and country. Leave it in the comments there, because Gary wants to know. So Gary, you can be first. Leave your comments where you are. London. Now, is that London in England, or is that London in Canada? Because I know there's a London in Canada. But no, Dave, I know you're in London, UK. But Brighton. Now, again, is that Brighton, South Coast, England, or is it Brighton in, is it US? Is it Brighton in US? Yes, you are quite right, Colin. You see, elite athletes don't have a 9 to 5, and that's why it's so essential that we recover correctly. Sorry, I digress to 3 things. 3 things. Can you guess what they are? 3 things. 3 things. Sorry, UK, Dan. Yes. So 3. First one. Remain hydrated. Yes, you might see I do drink my teas. This is herbal tea. And for those who want to know the flavour that I've got, Scotland, Helensburgh. Wow. Is there snow up there, Gary? Are you skiing? I did see another YouTuber out in Aviemore, and the snow looked fantastic there. I do recall doing some tobogganing up in Aviemore, and I think it was April. So the snow is fantastic up in Scotland. So number 1, hydration. Be hydrated, stay hydrated. And that's not just before the run, or during the run, or just after the run. This is every day. Every day we need to remain hydrated. And what I've got in here is lemongrass tea, which apparently has got good medicinal things, but I just like the taste of it. I do have lemon and ginger is another one that I've tried. Just green tea is another flavour. Peppermint tea, I like all of those, but I do love my teas. And as I say, this one is lemongrass. I have heard there is a sports, a specific for sporting teas. And if you know the person who owns it, I can't remember the name of it. In fact, it's called Mission. I think it's called Mission. They do speciality teas for us athletes. But this one's just regular. I think it's a tea pig. Yeah, no, I'm not insulting you. It's called tea pigs. Yeah, so nice little tea bags. So hydration is number 1. Number 2, if we're hydrated, eating. Yes, just eating a balanced diet. We don't need to fill our faces. By the way, speaking of filling our faces, I have got some food here. Really. So I've been trying new things. So there's these raw bars, and I've got some gels. I'll quickly show you that. In fact, before I cover those, I know some of you guys want to know what's the 3rd one about recovery. Jam on toast. Absolutely. With Yorkshire tea is pretty good. Do you know what, Cole? Before the 10K, that's what I had. I had a couple of slices of toast with, it was strawberry jam. So my friend with the tomatoes are fruit, why isn't ketchup a jam? I know, but mine was strawberry, and strawberry is a fruit. So, but a couple of slices of toast and a cup of tea. That's what I had a few hours before the 10K. Works fantastic, but obviously allowing a number of hours for it to go through. But if you're doing an ease run, works fantastic. But what's the 3rd one? The 3rd one, and you would have seen me produce videos on this in the past. I might talk about it again. Sleep, 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 getting good sleep. And I know some people have trouble sleeping, but again, if I refer back to the portal, there was that function in there of sleep. Try that. try it and listen to the music. In fact, should we do a live sleep session so I can properly send you all to sleep? Yeah, don't log off just yet. Stay on. Remember, thumbs up. Right, let's find Portal. And I'll talk about the food, by the way. So don't worry, I've got the food. So remember, we've got focus, sleep, escape. So I'll click on sleep. So you select what music you want. So there's Dawn Spring Chorus. So find the sound that you want to fall asleep to. And then there's an option here. You can see the timers. So you can set the timers for how long you want this playing. And then you're lying in your bed and you have that music playing or soothing sounds. And it helps you to relax and fall asleep. So that's one of the little tips I've used that. I certainly remember, without going into my previous health and stuff, but in my 20s, I was in and out of hospital with all sorts of stuff, accidents and stress and things. So I used to use this kind of stuff, but it was on cassette players. Do you remember those? Ooh, yes. So put a cassette player, put the music on, and it was great to relax and de-stress. So some things don't change. No, I'm not going to talk about math at all, Dave, so don't worry about it. I might talk about Yorkshire tea, because I do love Yorkshire tea, and especially when I'm on certain trains going up to Leeds, it's always Yorkshire tea, the best tea. So, yeah. Hydration, sleep. So the food that I've got. So get these off Amazon. If you look on the links in some of the description, I see some of the foods there. But this is a chia and vanilla hemp. So I tend to eat these because this is bar raw organic. So I do like my organic type stuff and raw. I tend to have a quaff on one of those, like I did this morning after the long run, the, what was it, 14 miles, 23.5 kilometers. I had one of those before I had my, before I was driving back to my breakfast. But here's something I've tried. I don't know, has anyone heard of this stuff? Huma, powered by Natura. So apparently these energy gels, it's 100% all natural and gluten-free and whatever. I mean, I'm not gluten intolerant, but it just happens to be gluten-free and vegan friendly. But I thought I'd try something a bit different. I have been using the, I can't remember what the brand was, but I found them very sugary. So I thought I'd try something a bit different. I've not had the opportunity. I did have a couple of gels with me just in case I got a bit hungry or tired or whatever. And yes, so you use Huma, Dan, yes, and you find them good. So I just was interested in the flavors because there's some cracking flavors in here. So here's one. This is a mangoes. There's one there, mangoes. Another flavor. I went for the party pack, by the way, so it's a complete mix. Lemonade, blueberries. What's this one? Raspberries, strawberries. Oh, it's got all the berries here. Apples and cinnamon. And there's a mixture of caffeine, non-caffeine, double caffeine. Can anyone tell me what caffeine does whilst you in the gel? What does it do to you? Is it like a turbo boost? Anyway, so there's the bits of food. So that's the three things on recovery: is hydration, be hydrated, water. You don't need, you know, without saying, you don't need any of these fancy drinks. If you have them and it works for you, great, carry on. But you don't need to have them. Water is plenty, or flavored water, or tea. Drinking stuff that keeps you hydrated on a daily basis. Balanced diet, and again, a mixture of stuff, whether you be vegan, non-vegan, carnivore, whatever. A balanced diet is essential, and sleep. And I talked about the Portal app there in terms of helping with sleep. So, and I'm going to have a quick read of the comments here. Colin, birthday. Right, everybody, say happy birthday to Colin, because he's going to have some birthday cake tomorrow. I presume it's birthday cake because it's yours and Keith's birthday tomorrow, or you're just eating birthday cake for the hell of eating birthday cake. By the way, speaking of birthdays, I forgot to mention as an aside, the good news. Good news. I do like to spread the good news. Nothing related to running or anything, but for me personally, last Saturday, so a week ago today, it was my dad's 92nd birthday. That's right, 92. And 92. And on Tuesday, he had a great birthday present where He's here in the UK. They're rolling out this vaccine, and he was one of the first to get this vaccine with the mass rollout. So there's in the UK, we've got these big centres where everybody's been jabbed or whatever. And I took my dad along there. It was impeccably organised, fantastic, brilliant. And yeah, so that's some good news where they're now rolling that out. And yes, he is very fit for his age. And I'll be sharing, and I've been invited to talk on various podcasts, and I talk about longevity of running and how you can keep running in your latter years and keep running for a long time. And yes, he does look very fit for his age. He doesn't look his age at all. People say it's genes, but he follows those three things. Yeah, he's not a runner. Well, he can't run with the hip replacements and issues that he's got with his age. So he's got a Zimmer, and but he follows those three as well. So it's not just for running, you know, the hydration, balanced diet, and sleeping. I think it's good for a balanced, healthy life. And thank you, Colin. Yeah, he is a star. And what was fascinating is I posted something on Twitter, and people often talk about social media being negative and this and that. And there are some negatives in there, but I find things that are positive in there as well. And I just thought I'd give a quick, I do lots of updates. You can follow me on all the socials. Have I got my little banner poster? Oh, you can tell I'm not prepared at all. But where is it? Where is it? No, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. You can follow me on the socials, Poet with Pace, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So on Twitter, and I've been on there for donkeys. I think I was on Twitter almost from nearly the beginning. And I just posted a little update on there. And what was fantastic, all I said is, I didn't post a picture of my dad on there on the Tuesday. I think I did post a picture of him for his birthday. And lots of people wished him happy birthday, which is fantastic. Good, kind people. But when I posted the update about the vaccine, it went ballistic. And I think a few celebrities retweeted it, and they were fantastic, good news. But it spread a lot of positivity and cheer. And to be honest, when I was there, and Dave, yeah, apart from Strava, that's because I'm not on Strava. In fact, when I was out running today, I was having a discussion, and I bumped into lots of familiar people. And it seems wherever I go running, there's people who recognize us and so on. And it was fantastic. Some would stop and have our socially distanced chat or whatever. And yeah, I need a more professional poster. Can someone do me a professional poster, Cole? I need a professional poster. Thank you. Thumbs up still. But for me, Dad, he follows those three. And all I did was give an update of what had happened, showed a few pictures of the centre. And I say it went, please, so many people I've never met in my life, all wishing me dad well, were happy with the process, because the process was very slick, you know. I mean, without getting into the politics, I think our UK government, along with other governments, could have done things a bit better, and they've been lacking in certain areas. But as I say, I'm not here to talk politics, but that process for me dad to get the vaccine was impeccably slick, and the feedback was fantastic. And I think it reached a few 100,000 people, which was amazing. I don't know if any of you watching in the background, because I know I'm getting a lot of banter here from a lot of the regulars, but I know there's a lot of people who are watching and who don't comment, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to comment on there. You can email me privately or whatever, or not, or just watch and enjoy. Hopefully this is a good Saturday night for you. And I was going to go through, there's a lot of people talking on the Huma gels and so on, and follow me on the socials. So yeah, I think, Colin, in terms of risks, yeah, I think we might end up going into a COVID debate here, which wasn't the purpose of this one. But yeah, it's I think it's levels of risk and factors. But related to that, and on the running, Professor Chris Whitty, I think it was on the running, there's a running magazine, what's it called? Runner's World. There you go, a running magazine. It was on Runner's World, and some of you may relate to this or whatever, and I've seen things on the socials where, you know, I don't want to be on a downer, but there are people who have issues with people out running or walking their dogs out in the public, and they're very stressed and anxious. And understandably so for some people, and we need to respect that. And I always respect the distance when I go running past people. I always keep a long distance away as much as possible. And but Chris Whitty was explicitly asked a question about if someone runs past you, what's the risk of catching COVID from them? And he said it was very, very low. So he had to go public and say that, because I think a lot of people were stressing, and I see it every day I'm out running. At least one or two people will respond or react in certain ways because they're you know, for their reasons, are quite cautious about it, and I can understand that, and I say I'll respect that. But yeah, so Professor Chris Whitty, the risk of you catching COVID, firstly, the person's got to have it and it's got to be active. But those nanoseconds when you run past, there's minimal chance. I mean, yeah, there's always that slim, minuscule, tiny, infinitesimally small risk. But if you're keeping your distance and running by, there aren't any risks. So that was good that he actually went public with that, and Runners World published that. And yeah. Yes, exactly, Dave. It is the last thing you're doing. And I talk about recovery, and sometimes we need to look after ourselves. Elsie Miles, hello. Welcome. It's fantastic. I knew there's lots of people watching and on there. So Elsie, lots of people were leaving comments as to where in the world they are. So we've got Gary up in Scotland. We've got Colin in Terry Miles. Wow, there seems to be a surge of people. Terry, my friend, my word. What a small world, Terry. Wow, I can't believe you're here. Play us a tune. I've got to get you on my channel. So Terry, we'll catch up after this, or leave a comment on one of my videos. We need to get you on the show. It's good. Is it good to see me live? Yeah, I am a person. I do exist. It's not just two-dimensional on Instagram or Twitter. And yeah, I know, Terry. Hackney, London. Man alive. Yes. Oh, you're London as well. So there seems to be a bit of a flurry. Terry, do you want to give a shout out from your channel on your channel? Get them all here on live. Yes. So for those of you, reason why I got a bit excited when Terry's commented here, you can see he's left pianos. Brilliant piano player. I met him in Scarborough when I was out running. Don't worry, he wasn't chasing me with his piano. So it's a long story. I might do it for next week's live show. So next week's Saturday Night Live, I might talk about it a bit more. So we'll get you back on, Terry, and do some riffs and stuff. Yeah, what do you reckon? So Elsie, you can team up with Terry. Obviously, keep your social distance and have a bit of a sing-song or whatever. But anyway, but don't break the rules. Don't break the rules. But it's great to see you all there. But what I was going to say, because I'll end up wittering on here because we're coming up to nearly an hour. How have I managed an hour? Well, I'll keep drinking. So yeah, Chris, you've mentioned we like running zombies. Yes, Chris. I mean, does anyone want to mention? Can we have a bit of fun? Now, I do appreciate. I'm not being disservice. My Instagram is Poet with Pace. Elsie, I did leave a. There you go. I am Poet with Pace on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. By the way, guys, something big will be happening on Facebook. Well, I don't know how big it will be, but I could do with your help. I could do with your help with that, Terry. Let's get things going. But what I was going to say was, can we have a bit of fun? I appreciate COVID is. I did see Elon Musk say, you have a Sunday service live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Oh, yes, everybody. Terry, and if you've seen him with the big tick, because Terry is a big YouTuber. Have you gone over 100,000 yet, Terry? 200,000? Can't remember, because your piano riffs are amazing, and I know you do a lot of live stuff as well. You do live stream, and I love the live stream with pianos. So I've been playing some music on here, but Terry plays a certain style of piano music, and it's fantastic. Absolutely love it. So yeah, stop promoting yourself, Terry. There's only 16 people here, but Elsie, in all fairness, Terry doesn't need to promote himself on here because he has literally hundreds of thousands of subscribers on his channel. So yeah, it's boogie woogie. Do I get I'll probably get a strike if I play some of your music here, Terry. But copyright strike, I don't know, because I've had all sorts of copyright strikes on music which are copyright free. But hey, so yes, Elsie, follow me on the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Poke with Pace, and the same, Terry, everybody who's watching. But yeah, sorry, I don't want to disrespect. And firstly, with regards to COVID, yes, it exists. People on here have had it. I know people get it, and I know people sadly die from it as well. But there's some things. Can we have a bit of humor? I say I do laugh at myself, like with the mindfulness. Whilst I'm a mindful person, I do have a laugh at myself about mindfulness. But I've seen some things where I'm thinking it's a bit crazy. And I won't mention what country, region this is in, but it was on Instagram. I saw a video, and you can leave a comment on funny things because, like Chris mentioned, I've had people jump into bushes, jump out. I've had people do, "Hey, get back, get back, get back." You know, I've had people spit at me. I've had, you know, some real horrible stuff, but I don't want to go into that. I want to have a little bit of fun. So can someone explain to me the science of this? Yeah, because we say all follow the science. So I'll sort of sum up with this, is follow the science. I saw a video, someone I follow on Instagram, and I won't mention who it is, and I won't mention nationality, whether it's male or female, but this person was running, and it's great footage of the person running, and they're running quite free, fantastic running form, wonderful music, as a lot of these are playing, and beautiful, leaning forward from the ankle, absolute magnificent running form. So you're thinking, what's this got to do with COVID? Well, the person ran past, in the open countryside, ran past someone who was walking with a mask on. So I always say, respect people. If they want to wear masks outside, that's perfectly fine. But I just asked her, oh, I'll let it slip the second. I asked the person running, because the person running didn't have a mask on. So I'm thinking, why has one person got a mask on and the other person hasn't? Now, apparently, explain the science. It wasn't through choice. Apparently, in that state, province, in that part of the world, if you're running, you don't need to wear a mask. But if you're walking, you have to wear a mask. Can someone explain to me the science on that? Can anyone? That's one of my crazy debates on you know, with this code. What's that about? How? And also, as you may know, that's not the current legislation here in the UK. You know, if you go walking, you don't have to wear a mask outdoors. If you want to wear one, that's entirely up to you, your choice. I think it's mandatory now indoors and supermarkets and so on. But you can go walking without a mask. You can go running with a mask on as well if you want. I've seen people out running with masks. That's fine if that's what they want to do. And I've seen people running without masks as well, or with snoods, and it can keep you warm or whatever. So that's my question of the day here. So I've been whittering on for over an hour. I said it was going to be an hour. I was a little late getting my cup of tea, and I've so enjoyed. I just want to sum up. I've really enjoyed. There's been so many of you stayed here for the whole hour, and Poke with Pace across all socials. And Colin, Keith, twin turbo power. There's so many comments going through here, and Scarborough, yes, because where I met Terry in Scarborough, I know that Colin and Keith, that's your hometown, Scarborough. So there's a bit of a Scarborough connection here. And wishing you a very, is it your birthday tomorrow, or are you just having birthday cake because you want to have birthday cake? I can eat birthday cake every day. In fact, oh no, it's gone because I've eaten it. So there was some cake here, so that's gone. But if it is your birthdays tomorrow, guys, many happy returns to you both. And may have many, and enjoy your birthday cake. And no doubt you're going to be clocking another 20 miler, Colin, tomorrow, and Keith, because these guys are like machines. And your mother lives in Scarborough. Okay. I knew there was a Scarborough connection there somewhere. Apologies for that. But you're from Leeds, yes. So yes, Leeds United. Here we go. So I could be whittering on, but I just want to give a big thank you to each and every one of you watching this, whether you're watching it live here now. I know there's dozens of you on right now, and 18 miles tomorrow. Good luck, Dave. And yes, happy birthday. I'm so grateful that you guys tune in. It really does mean a lot to me that I'm not just talking here to myself live. I know it is recorded, and I'm quite used to talking and chatting, but keep eyes peeled, tuned on the socials. If you haven't already done so, then do thumbs up on this, subscribe on the channel if you are watching this on replay, or even if you're watching it live now and you haven't done so already, then please do subscribe. And I'd love for you to share this video or one of your favorite videos that you've seen on my channel across the socials that you're on, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Share one of your favorite videos from this channel and ask your friends, family, mothers, daughters, children, whatever, sons, grandsons, godparents to subscribe. And yes, Terry, if you're going to give a shout out, I'm going to tune in Boogie Woogie 5 p.m. because I do love a so that was my poor attempt at a bit of Boogie Woogie on the piano. So maybe we'll play that on next week's Saturday Live. Leave in the comments when I come off if you want the same again next Saturday. I've got so much content and info, and obviously I'm now starting the training for the half Ironman in June. We've got that as updates. There's always stuff going on and things changing. So if you need some help and guidance with what's going on within not just the UK but globally in terms of what's there, I have got contacts and things where we can help and get things moving on that way. But in all essence, all I can say is stay safe, guys. I'm so grateful for all of you being on here. Keep it going. Look forward to seeing you all next Saturday, but stay tuned for the interview I've got with Carl Wellborn on Tuesday. And all I can say is good night. Thank you for Saturday night. I forgot about the copyright strike. I did have 3 songs. So closing on the songs here. Where's it? I find it here now. So kindly produce the music. There's 3 Saturdays, but I don't know which one to do. So this is Bay City Rollers. Obviously, that's Elton John on Saturday. So that was Bay City Rollers Saturday. This is Elton John Saturday. And then we've got... That's Wigfield Saturday. Yes, that's Wigfield Saturday night. Which tune do you think should be the Saturday night theme tune? Or maybe if you're still on Terry, do us a tune for a Saturday night live that I can use and then share it on here on the YouTubes. Thank you all so much. I've been Donato, Poet with Pace, bringing you here from Middle Earth in my Hobbit hut. Yes, here in Middle Earth. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you all very soon on the socials and all that stuff. Thank you so much all. Thank you very much. Good night. Keep the comments coming.